Hello, welcome to the eighth model of the plantain farming course. And in this model, we'll be addressing marketing and business strategies for plantain farming. At the end of this model, you would have effective approach to growing and selling your plantain. And this is from a money perspective. We would learn how to develop marketing plan for your plantain farm, understand the value chain and how to manage your plantain business effectively. Then we'll explore branding and packaging strategies for success in the market. And then we'll gain knowledge of financial planning and recording keeping skills to help you track and grow your farm profitably. So first of all, how do you develop a marketing plan? Understand your market. Conduct research to identify who your target audience would be. Household, restaurants, supermarket, agro processors. Then check out your competitors in your area and what they offer to them in terms of product quality, price, and availability. After doing that, check the trend. Are these people more interested in buying organic plantain? Then you want to do a lot of organic things when you come to your pest and disease management, or are they more into buying the processed plantain chips? So it means that you know what, you have no business even selling your fresh plantain to them. You set up your processing facility and then you sell the processed product to them. Then you also want to identify gaps in the areas where you can provide better and more reliable plantain products. So you could go to a place and realize that you have more markets selling unripe. Please don't try to sell ripe. If everybody's selling ripe, do unripe. If everybody's doing unripe, do ripe. You know, build yourself in a place where you can identify gaps and fill it in. Next thing, identify who your potential customers are, right? Do you want to do local consumers, family? Do you want to go and be selling to market women? Do you want to sell to supermarket? For supermarket, the way you package is different. Restaurant and hotel, these people buy in bulk. How do you want to deal with their delivery? Do you want to be delivering to them weekly, weekend? Then do you want to sell to processing companies? What are their needs? Do you want to do for the export market? Do you have somebody who is willing to help you with the export market? Are you exporting unripe? Are you exporting ripe? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. I always advise start with one target market and expand into others as you grow. Next thing you want to look at is your pricing strategy. Do you First of all, do you want to set prices based on production costs, which is the cost of labor, the cost of everything you use, the cost of your transportation, and you now add your profit margin, how much percentage profit you want to make? Or do you want to do the competitive pricing, which is check what everybody is pricing and then you sell in a way that beats you against? Or do you just want to do seasonal adjustment? During when the plantain is in season, you sell cheap. When it's out of season and you have plantain, you sell at a high cost. I would say choose the cost plus pricing. Always use cost plus pricing so dat you don't sell at a loss irrespective of your competitive pricing. Do your cost plus first and then you can then know what they are selling in the market and know if how much margin you want to put, or you can decide to do the seasonal adjustment, but ensure that you are never selling at a loss. You also want to start looking at your distribution channel. So your marketing plan, you've done your research, we've identified target market, we've done pricing. Now we are at distribution channel. Do you want to do direct sales where people come and buy from you? Do you want to do only wholesale where people come and buy in bulk? Or do you want to do for export? Or do you want to strictly focus on online sales? If you're focused on online sales, then you should go and join the Agrodemy program called the Agro Digital Professionals Academy. We call it ADOA, Agro Digital Officer Academy. ADOA is going to teach you how to use technology to grow your agri business, and there's a lecture around e-commerce platform to sell products. So you can use that for both your process and fresh. So how do you want to sell? You have to decide that. The next thing you want to look at is the value chain. Where do you want to play? Do you want to play at production, or you want to play at post-harvest handling, or you want to do processing, or you want to focus on distribution, right? You have to decide where you want to play, right? Um, yes, this is a farming course, but it's important to let you know that value chain analysis is key for whoever is a farmer. So if you want to play directly at production, then make sure that you have the best of plantain for people to buy off. If you want to be in the post-harvest handling business, then you want to become that farmer that grows into helping people with harvesting their own plantain. If you want to do the processing route, the same energy, you buy your plantain from other people to process. If you want to go into distribution, right, you have a towing van that you go around to buy people's plantain and go and sell in different markets. Choose the value chain, understand the value chain analysis so that you will know how you want to play when you're about to sell your plantain. Remember that I said that do not start marketing your plantain after harvest. Start marketing your plantain before harvest. I would always advise from the 8th month, start marketing your plantain. So you have people who have made down payment and are just waiting for you to deliver. That way you will reduce your storage costs. Another thing I need you to understand in the value chain is that from production to market is very important. So the quality and the quantity of your plantain will always affect your market supply and demand. If you don have so many plantain, you want to sell it off. If you have too much of plantain, you want to think processing. If you have a lot of fresh plantain and you planted in a system that your irrigation plan is well, such that you can harvest consis ten tly every month for 6 7 months, you want to go into the supermarket guys because you can maintain their orders. Then do you want to add value to this product generally wise so that you can have new pricing, better pricing edge? Then you can begin to take a course on agronomy of value addition. Or better still, look at your distribution efficiency. Do you want to be in the business of knowing a lot of supermarket that you can distribute to, and then you have a logistics boss that goes out every month, and this supermarket can choose if they want the logistics to stop by at their place for them to pick some orders. You need to think about your distribution at this stage, because all of the work we did in land preparation, farm management, disease and pest and all of that, it's unsuccessful if we don't make money out of it. Another thing you need to understand is that your efficient production and harvesting process will always be a key success for growth. It means that if your production is not good and your harvesting process is not good, making money becomes hard. If you have bad post harvest handling services, packaging and storage, your success is hard. If you don have a robust distribution network to reach your target market, making money becomes hard. Now let's talk about branding. You want to have a branding that resonates. So as simple as a paper sticker on all your plantain can be that branding that you need, right? A branding could be a paper sticker that is at the head of all of the plantain that you deliver to people. That may be all you need. And that packaging material could be even you using the leaf to design bags that people can buy these plantains into, or bag interwoven with the leaves. It's a way to go. So think about branding and packaging ways that tells your farm story. So if you are a very organic farm, you want to add leaf in your packaging bag, so that when people buy, they see the leaf, they, oh, this guy are very organic, very organic, right? If you are going to into processing, you also want to do the same thing. You want something that the user know. This is where you begin to think about, no, you shouldn't be thinking about it at the end. But this is where the name you name your farm, the name you name your plantain begins to sell. Success plantain, growth plantain, happy plantain, right? And telling a good story about your farming is a way to brand and package your product. So always look for something that are visually appealing. Look for something that is good in the eye, that is appealing in the eye. Look for something that is eco-friendly, and also ensure that you give labels and instruction, especially if you're into processing and packaging. Give labels and instruction to guide people on how to use your product. Lastly, you cannot do packaging without thinking about compliance. Go to NAFDAC website and read about the compliance for processing and packaging. Ask organizations, supermarket to tell you the compliances and the rules behind supplying them to plantain. What kind of plantain, what should the plantain look like, and stick to it. Go for export classes and learn the export requirement for your plantain and the packaging standard that meets the country you are trying to go to. If there are licenses you need to get, if you are an organic farm, their organic licenses. If you're a processing company, their food licenses. Get all necessary license for your plantain farming business. Now let's talk about financial planning. Please record everything from land preparation cost, planting material cost, labour, irrigation, fertilizer, pest control. Every money spent should be recorded, and these things I just mentioned are called operating costs. Next, you need to have your capital cost. So capital cost are if you are into machines, right, that you needed to use for processing, you also need to include that. Den from that, you can then forecast what your revenue will be, estimate what your po ten tial revenue will be, and at what selling price. Remember that you also have to have done your strategy for pricing to get to this point. So record all of it and then estimate with all of these things what's the minimum plantain bunch I can get. How, if I get 50 plantain bunch divided by the total of operating cost plus capital cost, it will tell you the minimum amount you spent in one plantain. That is now the cost price of that plantain. You can then say, okay, you know what, I want to make 30% profit. If at the end of your division you made 100,000 naira or 50,000 naira, you can now say, okay, you know what, I want to make 20% profit. 20% profit is 10,000 naira and 50,000. So that means that you want to sell your plantain minimum of 60,000 naira to make a profit. That's how you think and do your revenue forecast. Track all income. When you make sales, write it down so dat you will know at what point, so dat you will know when you gave discount. When you are harvesting, count it so dat you will know when you have done giveaway with your plantain to your family members. All of these things should be tracked. Don't forget that if you keep record and do good revenue forecast, you know an expectation of bunch you should have. At the point of harvest, you'll be able to track when stealing has happened. That's the importance of record keeping. All your expense record should have an expense book. Income record should have an income book. Den from time to time, review your income and expenses and check if your farm is making profit. If it's not making profit, check area of improvement. The area of improvement might be reduce the labour that we have so dat we can pay the others a little bit higher, they can get the job done. Or reduce the money we spend on buying fertilizers, let's start making our own organic fertilizer on the farm. Oh, we were using sprinkler before, sprinkler was wasting too much money on water, now we want to use the drip system. These are the kind of things you now begin to find areas of improvement based on the profitability of your farm. You also want to check how money is coming in, right? There's a course on financial management for agric business, especially farm business. You want to look at that. Always keep track of your costs, especially during the lean month, that month where you are just planting and you've not started harvesting. Keep it low. Keep it low. Always keep it low. And always look for ways to cut unnecessary expenses so that you can maintain quality. Keep a record keeping tool. Use, I always say, have a book and then have somebody who is tech savvy. If you don't have somebody who is tech savvy, come to Agrodemy so that we can help you hire one of our agro digital officers that can become your digital guide to help you convert everything you have written into Excel sheet that can track financing and help you use all of the accounting software. You don't need to stress yourself about that. When you have this installed, it's easy for you to raise grants and investment for your farm business. So what's the final assessment here? Guys, go do your market research. Design a pricing strategy, sample pricing strategy. If you are to sell plantain now, go to the market, do the research, decide what your pricing strategy would be. Map out the value chain you want to focus on. If you are to create a brand, what will your brand name be? What will be your packaging concept and why? Then you want to design simple book of what you want to be recording every day on your farm, right? This is the last assessment. If you run a farm, you want to take your time to go around this. In summary, market research is important. Pricing is important. Understanding the value chain so that you can manage all of it is important. Your branding and packaging is important. But more importantly, financial management is key. I wish you all the best in your plantain business. And we have come to the end of this model. Thank you.